alaikum and good morning, everyone. I'm glad to see a full room. And I hope most of you are interested in wastewater as much as you are interested in stormwater. So without further delays, I would like to start first with introducing the topic. Today we will be discussing wastewater to valuable water in this panel discussion. I would like to invite my respected esteemed panelists to introduce themselves, starting with you, Tim.
Thank you, Fatma. Thank you, everyone, for being here. My name is Tim Constantine. I'm the Global Solutions Director for our division within Jacobs called Water Resource Recovery. Some people might call it wastewater treatment, but I'll stick with the rebranded term. 30 years in the industry now. I grew up and live in southwestern Ontario, Canada, so the small London, Canada, and I lead our global technical team for this area, working on projects in Singapore, Australia, all across the world, North America, and the Middle East here as well. So it's my pleasure to be here.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm glad to be part of this panel with such expertise. I'm Dr. Fatma Alshamsi. I'm working in Abu Dhabi Quality and Conformity Council as a senior research specialist. I have 15 years experience with organizing and planning and directing a range of activities in laboratories. And in the last 5 years, I have working as standards, developing standards and conformity schemes to serve the infrastructure of the Emirates of Abu Dhabi.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is good morning, everybody. I am Dr. Mohammed Al-Abedli from Abu Dhabi Agriculture and Food Safety Authority. I'm working as a head of business development in agriculture development department. I have 26 years experience in different sectors. I work in ADAFSA, in food safety, in legislation, and last 10 years I work in agriculture department. And our roles in agriculture, by focusing our topic today, is expanding of using recycled water and desalinated water instead of underground water for agriculture, and helping the farmers to use the water more efficiently by adapting the new technology, and also we maintain the network irrigation and distribute water for the new farms, and also we monitoring the recycled water. Because of the recycled water, recently we succeed by replacing more than around 2,000 farms with the recycled water instead of the groundwater. So I believe adapting the new technology is really will help us to make the farming so easily and sustainable, and at the same time will help us to tackle the challenges of environment. Thank you.
Thank you for the introduction, and I'm glad that we have such a variety in different backgrounds from our experts. Wastewater to valuable water. So if we have looked into the human's history, we can see that the main driver of treating wastewater was first to protect the environment and health, right? Then we decided to take it to a different level. We don't want to treat it only for the environment. We look into it as a valuable resource. We started to use this water and apply it in different applications, started with irrigation. And of course, because we like development, let's take it to a further step, and we start to look into different applications of the whole facility of the wastewater by starting to recover nutrients, recover a lot of elements, and then generating energy as well. So I think we will never stop the wheel. We can see that we recognize water as a valuable resource, And if we look into some of the few numbers announced by the United Nations, we can see that, for example, if we look into the phosphorus, phosphorus is one of the depleting elements in the nature. So if we look into the amount of phosphorus available in the wastewater, we can see that 22% of the global demand can be recovered only from the wastewater itself. So on the other hand, this means that we can save 22% of this quantity in nature for the future applications. So Tim, you have mentioned during your introduction a very interesting terminology, and you have rebranded your team within Jacobs from wastewater solutions into water resources recovery. Can you please give us more information about this rebranding?
I can. It doesn't roll off the tongue as easily, water resource recovery compared to wastewater treatment, but it's important to, I believe, that our lexicon, the words that we use in our industry, should reflect where we are today and what we aspire to be in the future. If we think of the term wastewater treatment, it really became popular in the late 60s and early 70s, wastewater treatment. And the reason why is we were having problems where I grew up. I live an hour away from 3 of the Great Lakes, and they were heavily polluted at the time. So changing the lexicon to wastewater treatment, to treat the waste, it was aspiring at the time. We were getting somewhere where we needed to be, because we needed to recover those lakes, and other places around the world had similar issues as well. But here we are today, 50, 55 years later from those events. We've raised the standard now. Wastewater treatment should be the base. As you rightly said, what's coming down the pipe to our treatment plant now is teeming with resources that can be recovered. We have nutrients, as you say, ammonia and phosphorus that we can recover. For where I'm coming from, there's a lot of heat in that wastewater that we can reuse. It may not be reusable here, but other parts around the world, I do work in Denmark, we recover that heat and we heat the homes during the winter with that heat. We have the carbon that's coming down that can be upcycled and to create energy and maybe upcycled into other products as well. And of course, the most valuable of all is the water itself that we should be recovering and reusing, whether it's for industrial reuse, cooling perhaps. I do work in Singapore and in Los Angeles where they are upgrading it to indirect potable reuse, and that's not right for everywhere. But there are many multiple uses that we should be using it, and that's one of the main reasons I wanted to inspire our team that I lead, but also inspire the industry that this is where we should be going.
Thanks a lot for this information, and indeed I do agree that we need to look into wastewater as a raw material today, and I think we need to reach to a state where we even don't use the terminology of wastewater anymore, just as we have changed the terminology here in UAE of TSE, treated sewage effluent, into recycled water, and it is even implemented by policies. We don't call it TSE anymore, it is called recycled water. So I will be moving to you, Dr. Fatma. Can you tell us more about the role of Abu Dhabi Quality and Conformity Council on recognizing the wastewater as a valuable resource today?
Thank you, Fatma. As mentioned from you, Fatma and Tim, it is a very important and crucial topic. So we know in the Emirates of Abu Dhabi that we have adopted such solutions to reuse this kind of water. So as you know, the Council is leading the unifying and harmonizing the technical documents in the Emirates of Abu Dhabi. So upon the request from ADAFSA in the Emirates of Abu Dhabi and also the direction from the Executive Council in Abu Dhabi, we have approached to develop an Abu Dhabi specification to save use of this recycled water in agriculture sector in the Emirates of Abu Dhabi, and to develop such specification, in the council we have a kind of process. So we established a working group with strategic partners such as ADAFSA, EAD, the Environment Agency, and Taha Distribution, and also SWS. So public and private sector, we all together to develop this kind of specification using, of course, the existing standards, either locally from regulations and policies from DOE, which is issued by DOE, and also the international standards, ABA, WHO, and FAO. So together we discussed the development of the specification and defined the important properties that we can use it to save and unrestricted using of this kind of water. So after the discussion within the working group, which consists of experts, so we approved the specification within the steering committees in the Emirates of Abu Dhabi, which consists of 40 members from 25 authorities, different governments in the Emirates of Abu Dhabi, and then published the specification within our website. So you can free download the specification from our website. And then we try to implement this kind of specification with our partners ADAFSA.
This is such a great effort, Dr. Fatma, and we can tell that due to the changing activities, especially in the urban areas, there is a continuous change in the characteristics of wastewater being received by the treatment facilities, and setting up the characteristics and the quality of the recycled water will require a regular update and studies to be done, especially if we are looking into the expansion of the application, as Dr. Muhammad said. So Dr. Muhammad, can you tell us the importance of wastewater in the agriculture, and what are the applications that are currently being done in the agriculture sector?
Yep. The recycled water, really one important value water in the world. So first of all, we start the pilot project in 2012 with 143 farms. Then in 2015, we analysis this water with the FAO to see how can we expand this using this water. And really we come up with the recommendation from the FAO expert that we can use this water for all different kind of agricultures, like for the fish farming, for all the vegetables and herbs, and closed system like hydroponic system for agriculture, but with some caution of using, like not suitable for the human consumptions, and also not for the human daily use, like washing or cooking, and even not use it for the end product, to wash it, the end product in the farms. There is many values of the water. Also, we find this water is full of the nutrients, which is really important for the plant to growth. So that will lead to reduce the pressure on the fresh water, and also will reduce pressure on the underground water. Therefore, the farmers, when they're using this kind of water, they will reduce using fresh water, which is really costly, and also at the same time they will reduce using the chemical fertilizer, because this water have good nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So, and generally, this kind of water is really improve the yield of this plant production. So we are planning to in the future to expand our project in this kind of water. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed. Of course, we do have a lot of efforts when it's come to the application of water in the agriculture, because as a country, we lack, and I believe a lot of MENA, if not all of them, we lack freshwater resources. Unlike the case with you, Tim, you live in a country that is very rich in freshwater resources. So can you tell us what advice can you provide from your background and experience when it comes to the MENA region? What advice can you provide related to this topic?
Yes, it's no question where I live, which is right in the middle, the land around the Great Lakes, 21% of the fresh water of the world. That is within a 1-hour drive of where I live. I can get to 3 of those Great Lakes within less than 100 kilometers. I think there's a lot, stepping aside, I think there's a lot that we can share from technologies and whatnot. I'm not going to talk about that today, although this forum is excellent for that. So I think maybe during coffee breaks we can talk about technologies. I want to talk about that we were so blessed, and sometimes when you are so blessed, you can become complacent. And you can let things, you know there's problems. And back when I was a young boy, we knew there were problems. But that problem became a catastrophe. And it made it onto the news. I don't know if you've seen the pictures back in the early 70s of rivers that are going to Lake Erie that literally caught on fire because they were so heavily polluted. You couldn't go fishing in Lake Erie. Lake Erie was dead. The problem became a catastrophe in Ontario and Canada and the surrounding of the Great Lakes because we didn't address the problems early. We let them fester and they became a catastrophe. The good news on that is that once that catastrophe happened, the public got behind the issue and we cleaned up the Great Lakes. So today, my wife and I have a house on Lake Erie. We regularly go fishing and catch perch and cook it as well. But then there's other days that we wake up and we go to the beach and it's filled with algae. And maybe we're becoming complacent again. So it's more of a high-level discussion that if you see a problem, if there is an issue, really invest in the infrastructure, the systems, the operations, and get the public behind you so that it doesn't elevate to the bigger problem. I know that's high level. I think there's technological things that we can share, but that's more of a talking about the issues that we've had and that we don't want those to happen in other places. And I don't think they will here because I think water is so precious to this region. But that's what I'd like to share.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for sharing this situation, because indeed we do all agree that the public has a very important role. Though today might be most of us, we are technical people. We do understand what is happening. However, the start points will be the public, because the public, and through their consumption, they are generating this wastewater. The way they are generating this wastewater will impact the characteristics. So flushing something down the toilet, they might see it disappear, but we for sure know where it will end. So educating the public is really important, and they really do have an impact on the whole facility, because they are the production point and they are the consumption point as well. So today, if I asked all of you, are you ready to use the recycled water in your homes? Can I see hands? Very few, right? Why? Because of your perception. There might be a lot of factors when it comes to the application, and maybe most of you will have the fear or the risk on their health. So this will take me back to you, Dr. Mohammed. What are the procedure of the safe application in the wastewater in agriculture? Because you have mentioned that some of the applications might be risky when it comes to the direct consumption by humans. So can you elaborate more on that, please?
Yes, Fatma, thank you for your question. As you said, the education really, really important. So we start awareness for the people, for the farmers, before and after we supply the treated water for them. So we inform them what the importance of that water and what the caution of that water. So we issue guidelines for them to help them how to deal with the water and how to also to be cautious about this water. For example, as a caution, this water, as I mentioned before, is not for the human consumption, not for our daily using. And you need to deal with this kind of water. You have to cover your tank and protect it from the sunlight, because the sunlight is not suitable for this kind of water, because algae and other pathogens will grow. And you have to use this water just in a period of time, not keep it for a long time, the tank. And you need to clean the tank time by time, and to clean also the network irrigations in your farm. And other things to be ensure this safety of the water, we have a monitoring program with 3 entities. One of the entities, Taqa solution, water solution, they do the sampling in the source, and then Taqa distribution, they do it after the source from the pipeline to Adafsa main tank. Then lastly, we do the last stage in our tank. We sampling that one, the water, and also in the farm level. So we cover all the stage from the source to the farm level. So to be ensure that water is really safe for the people to use it and the farm to use it. And lastly, we have our inspection team. So this is really important. You have to be a little bit harsh with the people. You know, some people, they are not following your rules. If they are not following the rules, there will be a really big issue. Therefore, we have the inspection team regularly inspect the farms to check if they are following our standards and our rules or not. And if not, they will take their action by warning them and taking fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed. Also, during the discussion with you, Tim, you have mentioned also that the pollution, we need to put a capital investment to stop this pollution from the waste. And it just reminded me of some of the reports that I came across, that the cost of taking care of all of the environmental damage caused by discharging wastewater to the environment is 3 times, if not more, 3 times the cost of treating this water. So you can imagine the number. If you have 1 million cubic meter, that means you will be paying 3 million in order to take care of the damage, instead of paying 1 million to treat this water. So the numbers speaks without even providing further information. So safety is crucial, especially when it comes to the health and safety risk. So Dr. Fatma, can you tell us what are the capabilities of Abu Dhabi Quality and Conformity Council when it comes to the safety of this water and how to monitor the quality and safety of the recycled water?
Okay, thank you, Fatma. I think to gain the trust from the people, you have to set an infrastructure that help you monitor and testing this kind of water before reuse it, and also within the reusing of this kind of water. So within the council part of the sector, we have central laboratories sector, which have advanced technologies and equipment to monitor this kind of water. So also we have within the Abu Dhabi specification, we have tables that we have to comply with the limits that's stated in the specification to check whether this waste or this kind of water is safe to use or not. Moreover, we are proud to say that we launched during I think 23, yes, during GITEX Dynamics 23, we launched a platform called RASD. It's Arabic terminology. It is like detect. So this platform is used to monitor the treated wastewater from the plants to the farm with the sensors and AI and advanced technology to monitor many parameters within pollutants or even nutrients and a long range of or a huge range of parameters. So this kind of platform not only detect and give you alert for the parameters, different parameters, but also connect relevant authorities to accelerate the decision making. So if like we have any alerts during the pipeline from the plants until the farm, so the decision making will be easier with the data that captured from this kind of platform.
Yes, definitely, and I think here will comes the role of the technology, and we can see how if we utilize the technology in the right way, it can make our lives easier, of course, and we are dealing with big data now today. Since I'm working in an operation and maintenance field of the wastewater treatment facilities, I can see that if we are not utilizing this data in the correct way, we might be taking the wrong decision indeed. However, as you said, Fatma, if we are taking all of these inputs and analyze them in the right way, it can even give us the chance to predict any event. Like today, we cannot tolerate a major event in a central facility, for example, to treat the wastewater. So implementing such technologies will help us, of course, to predict the events and take actions in advance to prevent any risk that we can see it coming. So this will take us to discussing what possibilities we have in the future. So coming to you, Tim, what are the outlook of the future in the water resources recovery facilities, and what technologies and the strategies do you see in this horizon?
So I do spend a lot of my time, thank you for that question, thinking about the future. Not only the near future, because it's important to see what the challenges are, but also look a little bit wider out to the more distant future, decades from now, because the infrastructure we put in today, many of the pieces of infrastructure, whether they be pipes, tanks, they're going to last decades. So they better be right for today. But I'll talk about 3 technologies that I see that are now and on the horizon. We heard a little bit earlier today, and we'll hear more about the digital transformation that we're going under as a global society. And I like to look back 30 years. I was working in the industry. I didn't have an email address, but the internet was kind of starting to take off. And here we are 30 years later. And here we are now with artificial intelligence and machine learning at the starting to go. 30 years from now, you know, just think of where we were and where we are now and where we'll be going. It's going to explode in a very good and beneficial way. And that can be used actually today. So what we're doing at a number of facilities right now is when we design the facility with the utility that we're working with, we're designing in machine learning, AI, and what we call a digital twin of the wastewater treatment plant of the water resource recovery facility, so that it can actually track over time, what's the health of that plant? And then it can be a co-pilot. It can give advice to the operations staff to tweak something. We want to be more energy efficient, it can give advice to the operations staff. Greenhouse gas emission reduction, we can do that. We're here now, that's going to be a part of absolutely where our future is going to be, because it's happening throughout society right now. Secondly, we talk about resource recovery, the stuff that's coming down the pipe that we can recover. The one thing that I see is there will be likely regulations coming in the near future on some of the nasty things that are coming down the pipe. We have microconstituents of concern. We have PFAS. We have microplastics that are generally unregulated right now, but we know they need to be addressed. They end up in our solids, Hopefully they're not getting all the way to our treated effluent, but it could. So the idea here is to look at technologies and strategies to capture it, because it's our one chance. It's coming down the pipe, and if it gets released, it gets back to our water environment. It may take hundreds of years to us to recapture it again, so to speak. We have a chance to stop it there and destroy it. And whether that's through thermal technologies like incineration right now, pyrolysis, gasification, or something in the future, I see that as something that's coming very soon. And third and lastly, from a perspective of looking into the future, I do see us designing and implementing flexible and adaptable treatment plants. They need to be that because we need to quickly respond to increasing capacity very quickly. So we don't want you putting in infrastructure that paints yourself in a corner, that's a dead end, that in 15 years we go, why do we put that in? It doesn't work for what our future regulations need, for whatever we need there. So I do see us building adaptable plants. I also see us having facilities that may be creating what we call fit-for-purpose water, different water qualities coming out of the same treatment plant, where one lane creates just the perfect water for irrigation water. It may actually, in that case, it may actually leave some of the ammonia and phosphorus in there. Don't take it out. It's there. You can use it for irrigation. We don't want to use RO water for irrigation. It doesn't work. It needs those nutrients in there. But we could also have just fit for purpose for industrial reuse and for other services as well. So I see, again, it's about building adaptable plants that can do that in the future, that don't paint yourself in a corner, that you have adaptable operations that can get you to where you need to be. So I see that as part of our infrastructure of the future. There's digital, there's getting rid of our, what I would call the elephants in the room that are coming down the pipe, the PFAS and microconstituents, microplastics, and also designing flexible treatment plants.
As an O&M person, I do really like this idea of having a flexible facility that will produce different quality of water, because we are looking into expanding the application beyond the irrigation, and for sure having such a flexible plant will make this idea applicable and possible, such that you are able to satisfy all of your end users. This will take me back to you, Dr. Fatma. What are the future projects and initiatives planned in this field as a regulatory body and someone who is producing such data? Can you tell us more about your future approach?
The important concept about the future is to continuous working with initiatives in such area, and the second one is it's not only one authority projects. So we have to work together to achieve our goal. So in QCC, we have lots of initiatives in regards of reusing of wastewater. So in technical perspectives, we proposed the adaptation of Abu Dhabi specification at the federal level. So we working with MOIAT, the Industry Ministry, to adapt this kind of specification within the UAE standards. And also within the Gulf area. So alhamdulillah, they accepted the specification, and they are now working to be approved in the federal level with the Ministry Council. The second thing is we are working now to enhance the competencies of the workers in such areas, the occupational, like the water tank drivers, where they are dealing with this kind of wastewater or the recycled water. And also we are preparing the training curriculum and assessment for the occupational in the farms. So they can gain competencies and enhance their working with this kind of wastewater. or the recycled water. The last initiatives, not least, we're trying to use this kind of data captured from the platform to prepare a study, an impact assessment study that include 5 pillars: the environment, economic, safety, health, and security. So we want to check what is the impact of this specification after the implementation of this specification on such 5 pillars. So we hope to present this kind of study next year, inshallah, in this forum.
I hope so. It seems that it is going to be a comprehensive study, since you have managed to cover all of these 5 pillars and 5 aspects. And before we conclude, Tim, during the discussion, you have mentioned something really interesting, that we need to use the technology in order to check the health of our facility, because currently when you go to visit a patient in the hospital, the first thing you see is a monitor connected and showing and reflecting the vital signs of the patient body, right? So I think we need to have the same exact facility for our wastewater treatment systems, because sometimes a lot of things are really avoidable if you just have the right data input and you are analyzing it in a proper way. Unfortunately, our time of discussion have come to an end. It has been a very interesting discussion, and I would like to thank our panelists, Mr. Tim, Dr. Fatma, Dr. Mohammed, for the valuable information you have shared. And they will be available off stage to receive any questions you have. Thank you for your listening, and I hope you have enjoyed the discussion. Thank you.